which one was the most nerve-wracking feature to test?
Weirdly, the first, which
The
caused everyone
steps,
the least...
or the road gap, or the steps
the,
into the road gap.
The steps into the road gap, weirdly, was the one that caused the most stress.
We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And we're in on the unnamed studio
Nice.
episode.
We're in.
We're in.
Hey. It's been a while, dude.
It's been a
while.
It has actually been a while, dude. I was thinking on the way down here how long it's been since we sat and recorded just me and you. It's been ages.
Long time. And there's been a bit of a hiatus on the podcast, hasn't it? I mean,
Yes.
I wonder what people do. Honestly, you're going to have to put in the comments.
I know what I do.
What?
Sit and do an episode on my own. It was the hardest thing I have
how
ever
did it
done.
go? Yeah.
It was horrible, dude.
Was it? So
But people actually liked it. Apparently, I even had a
Nice.
message yesterday. I mean, I'm not bigging myself up because I hated doing it.
Did you? Yeah.
But I think it's a skill. It's one of those things. It's like a skill that I'd actually like to try and get better at. Is that bad?
Yeah. No.
Just to be like reactive to things.
I'm trying to think of podcasts I know that are just...
Theo Von. Oh, he's a comedian.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And Bill Burr is the one I listen to that is...
Dalia.
Yeah.
I know these are just American comedians, but most of them are solo.
They're just comedians.
But they,
There's
know.
other...
Chris
Next
Williamson, Modern Wisdom, does a bunch on his own.
Yeah, he quite likes the sound of his own voice, doesn't he?
See, I don't. So it was really difficult.
Yeah,
it was.
one of the tough things to get
I
over
don't,
podcasting.
I don't mind it, but it was. So yeah, the idea.
What did you talk about,
mate? Honestly, so I did. I put so much thought and effort into it. Genuinely did.
you?
Because,
Yeah.
Well, it's
You had notes.
yeah. It's if you're going to sit down and record and it's only you in the room,
Yeah.
only me in the house. I even made Emma go out. I'm like, please, I don't want you even in here because if I know you're
I'm
listening,
cleaning my room.
if I know you're listening, I'm gonna stutter and be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
So yeah, she went out and
As she's closing the door, she can just hear as she's walking off. The crazy thing about me, it's just the most annoying dude in the house.
welcome back, folks. People are like, oh. So yeah, I did make some notes. I can't quite remember what they were now, but I basically did it through YouTube Live, so we didn't need to have any crazy productions.
Was it? Yeah, so it was
You
live.
know how we did MTB Gogglebox?
Oh, yeah.
Through that system. So I
Yeah.
just used that and then live on YouTube.
So did you interact with people as they were?
I had a chat going.
Yeah.
So I just used Goey as the webcam, so it was
Yeah.
a little bit better quality, but it was a bit close. It's a bit like it was a first test, and also guys are trouble for not having an episode in a way. And I just hit record. I had some notes, did a little intro, told a few anecdotes about getting a bad haircut and this and that.
Nice.
And then did some not breakdown, but like talking about Cerro Bio.
Oh,
Did
nice.
like a bit of a
Did
preview
you? Oh,
to that.
wicked. Well, good.
Did a little preview,
Oh, so
did
you're
some
clued
research.
up, dude. Wicked.
Well, not really, but I did some research into that and then talked a little bit about AI, talked a little bit and just riffed on my own and then kept
Nice.
going to the chat to see if anyone had any questions and then would answer the questions.
And they did, yeah?
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? I thought if I can do half an hour,
Yeah.
I'll be pretty happy with myself. It was like
Questions
an
are
hour
nice,
and
eh?
20.
Yeah.
Something just me. So I was yeah. But
Oh, well, good.
I figured it'd be cool though, just be a bit more reactive to things. As we get into the season, like with downhill maybe popping off and
Yeah,
stuff, just
good
to be a
idea.
bit like,
Yeah.
let's just talk about it.
Topical things.
Yeah, even if it is a new edit comes out or whatever, either I can do it, you can do it, we can do it together.
It really
Just-
raises the bar for being on your A game and not saying something really bad that gets
Yeah, I
you
know. It's
forever
I think
banished
back
from
in
the internet.
Day, back in the day, it would have been, I don't know if it'd have been easier, but not as many people would listen. And I think
Yeah.
it obviously has become a bit harder putting yourself on that pedestal to be like, oh, I'm going to do this
Bit
thing
more pressure.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when you did it, man. It was one of my favourite episodes. Remember when
Oh,
I
I
was
did
hurt?
do it, didn't I? I was trying to think if I'd ever done one. Yeah, I do remember.
Because it was when you told the story about the statue. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
And it was bad though, because you told the story about the statue and I had to like not edit it, but I tidied it up or whatever I did and posted it. And I had all the broken ribs, so I couldn't laugh. And that story was it was so painful.
That was why it was, because you were banged up, weren't you?
Yeah, and you did an episode on your own.
Yeah, I do remember that now, yeah.
I think now we'd just be like, maybe just skip that week, but good on you. So yeah, you set the bar. And I was like, Olly's done it. few other people that I like have given it a shot.
Lonely
we do
episode.
need to do a few ads. That's kind of the business side of it.
20. I don't reckon I did hour and 20.
Oh, I don't know. I think you did a good one.
Stretched it out.
It was good. Hey, I don't know, man. I didn't mind it. It's like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of, you can engage with people on the chat, and it wasn't as bad anyway as I thought.
Yeah, and of course, before that, it was a bit of an unprepared episode with John Fernandez in Madeira, which is where. We've been away for ages. Yeah,
you nailed it as well, dude. So good.
Not sure about that, but
no, you did. It was good. I like it when you do them because I actually. It's different because I guess you don't have to listen to the ones I do or watch them because I do that side of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you did that, and I was like, oh, I actually can't wait to sit and watch and listen to this.
And John Fernandez is a banger guest as well. He's like an interesting dude. And
yeah, he is. Amazing story. Yeah. Like, really amazing story of what they've built and done over
Would you
there.
like to go to the island?
I would love to go to the island. I'm quite...
You should go to the island,
kind of hyped for the island, yeah.
Yeah, I know I bang on about it too much, but I had a whale of a time there. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were out there. So this is just after we last recorded, you headed out to Madeira. So that's a good starting point to catch up.
Yeah,
I mean, do we talk about where we are or do we not? I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about where we are, yeah.
We can talk about where we are.
We're recording in a different room. Same chairs though, same microphones, same lights.
Yeah, same board. Same people, same voices.
Same stuff, man.
New environment. So pretty cool. Quite stoked. We're not. It's unnamed. We'll come up with a cool name for this place. I like what you called it on the way down here driving. You're like, oh, go to the shed. That's kind of cool.
All sheds, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're all sheds.
Cool.
They're all like
really
spaces that can't be used for something else.
Yeah, and we can't really say, obviously, where it is and what it was used for because we got to keep that.
We've never said where any studio is.
That's right.
Yeah. Maybe we could give the location of this one. So we're in a different spot. Yeah,
we are in a different spot. It's a cool spot, really nice. I'm not sure what people can see, but we'll post some photos, probably some BTS photos, on our Instagram.
Nice,
because it is a beautiful place.
Yeah,
we just can't tell you what the place is, but it is beautiful.
Yeah,
it's a dream come true. Honestly, like I remember starting this and then it's just another chapter of the book, isn't it? Not to get too deep and meaningful, but it's just another chapter of the book. You know, having a space has been really hard to find, and not amazing, that's not the word. Massive not congratulations, that's another word I wasn't trying to use. I need a magic mind. What I was going to say is massive thank you to Doug and Naomi for lending us your place for a while, because everything you've seen for the last year and a bit has been out of their house, which is GU.
It's all about the locations.
We've actually made a museum. But yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you. And it's cool to finally find this space and be in here. It's rad. It's really cool. Hard places to find.
Your living room.
Can't believe how much stuff we've brought here. It's just like lots of energy drink and stuff.
Yeah. I'm honestly so impressed with the Suzuki Carry.
I know.
It fitted really a large quantity in such a small van.
Sell the Carry. We'll make a clip
out of it. Van.
Go on, sell the Carry.
Sell it.
Go for it.
The Suzuki... No, I can't.
It's done well, dude. It's done well. It's brought a load of stuff over, hasn't it?
Dude. Great van.
It even got a sofa in it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Easy money. It swallows it up. It's like Mary Poppins...
umbrella.
Yeah, no. Does she pull stuff out? Mary Poppins pulls it. It's her bag. It's her bag.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's got a bag that she puts on the floor and she pulls it all out. I loved Mary Poppins.
Really?
Did you not love Mary Poppins?
Is it a movie?
No. It's a style of yoga.
No, I thought it was a series. You know, like a...
Oh, okay. Right, yeah. No, it's a movie, yeah.
Style of yoga.
Is it a movie? Is Mary Poppins a movie? Yes, Mary Poppins is a movie, yeah.
All right. I know that now.
I get mixed up with Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Did you ever watch either of those?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. No, I'm thinking of Brum.
Similar
car.
Brum. That was a series. See?
That was a series.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the new segment we're going to do. Is it series or film?
Yeah, series or film. I actually got a series and a film written down for today's watching.
Oh, wow. Okay. Shall we?
We don't have to do it now, but I just mean
no.
I've got both in case you need it.
I almost want to know what they are now. Shall we? I'm just going to hit a quick magic mind because my brain isn't working yet, as you can probably tell with all of the missed words, bit of stuttering, no direction. But
are we going to have one?
Once this is in, this will be my 4th magic mind of today.
Will it actually?
Yeah. I'm living on these things, dude, at the moment. Yeah, this is number 4. So I had one in the morning when I left home at, what time did I leave? 5:30? 5:30. First magic mind with my first coffee.
Yeah.
Then I put one in the van, knowing that when I got here, I didn't want to be a tired mess. Had one then.
Yeah.
Then we found a box of them a couple of hours ago. Had one then. I'm going to have another one.
You have got a calm energy about you right now. And I think that could be...
Do you think?
Because of the vitamin B2, the vitamin B3, the vitamin B12, and the vitamin C and D that is included in every tiny little bottle.
Yeah, if you like vitamins, then this is it. Yeah. And what I like about it is it's not like you have to make a massive vat of it. For all of the health benefits that you do get and the productivity benefits that you do get, you'd think you'd need to have at least a litre. But you don't. You just need this shot.
Tiny little shot.
Tiny little shot. And it tastes really good too.
It's got, I think you're performing quite well mentally, and I think that could be down to the lion's mane, the bacopa, or the cognizin that's found inside.
Bro, it could be. I mean, they're all of the things that people talk about at the moment when you talk about productivity drinks, when you talk about cognitive health, cognitive benefits, and basically all of these more natural, holistic-y sort of compounds, which are beneficial for your brain.
Yeah, and you don't seem stressed either. I think that could be the ashwagandha, the L-theanine, or maybe even the turmeric.
Oh, I like turmeric. Good benefits from turmeric.
Yeah.
It reduces inflammation. Tastes good.
You know the vitamins I was talking about earlier? I actually think that I was probably referring to the vitality that you give off, and the calm energy that I was referring to, I think is actually the rhodiola, the cordyceps, and matcha that it can be found inside.
I like matcha as well.
Yeah.
That's probably why I like this drink.
Yeah.
So if you would like to be like us and try Magic Mind, it's the biggest discount we've probably ever given away on the podcast.
What is it, 10%?
Nah, keep going, man.
What?
Do you think we're going to come in with 10%?
20%?
Nah, bro, keep going.
It can't be more.
It can be more. You can get up to 48% off your first subscription, or if you just want to try it, see what all the fuss is about, start a good new morning routine, you can get 20% off a one-time purchase. So head to magicmind.com/ride20. That's magicmind.com/ride20. Enter ride20 at checkout. Either way, do both.
Is that ride 20?
Ride 20.
That's insane because we're giving you 48% off.
Yeah, or 20%.
Or 20%. I should have listened.
Yeah, it's okay.
I hadn't had my Magic Mind yet.
But now you have, and now we're in.
There we go.
All right. Big up, Magic Mind. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Magic Mind.
So, Madeira.
Yes, I was in Madeira with Carenza Scott, my Focus and Goodyear teammate. I was there for a Goodyear shoot, and I was being guided around the island by none other than John Fernandez, who we had on the podcast. So we were there for like 5 days or something.
I think you were there for 5 days, yeah.
Do you know, it's always the dream.
5 days.
It's always the dream when someone's factored in scout days. Because obviously it's scouting, which doesn't really affect me. That turns into riding days.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
the scouting means looking at trails and riding.
Yeah, they're just trying to work out where to film. So the idea was that I don't think it's come out yet, but it's going to be a more sort of like trail-oriented tyre. So we were going to go off the beaten path and kind of get to some of Madeira's harder to reach trails. So that to me is the dream. That's because the landscape is just insane. You know, like exploring that island's a joy. So I had to scout. Oh no. To find some unridden trails. Oh no. So yeah, it was really, really good. It was really, really good.
It was cool hearing John talk about the different topographies.
Yeah.
On the island, so north, east, south. And I love that he used a great analogy about in the morning you could ride in Surrey, and then, in the afternoon you could be riding in like Sheffield. How big actually is the island? Because I have no idea about it. Like, is it Isle of Man size?
Do you know, it's honestly very difficult to tell because it's, 1,800 meters high, but it's so steep.
Right.
It's so steep and so difficult to get around. There's all wiggly roads all through tunnels, crazy steep ones.
Oh, right.
So it's actually kind of hard to get a full, it's not like you can just see from one side to the other, or it's not like there's anything flat enough to sort of ride around, or you have to go. So I don't know.
You don't know? Don't know how big it is?
It's like the Jurassic Park island. That's all I know.
Okay. I liked when you called it Tracy Island as well. It
is like a Tracy Island.
That was cool.
It is like a Tracy Island.
Yeah.
It is. It's the dream. Man.
So when you had this idea for the film, where did you want to explore most? Northeast, southwest? Is there a bit of it that's like a favourite, or?
I've got to say, I'm a bit like a dog with zoomies in Madeira. I'd never really quite know. I know I can tell you trails, but I wouldn't know where any of them are. Like right. I really, really lean heavily on the guides.
Yeah.
And which is why I've always, every time I've been to Madeira, it's been with Freeride Madeira.
Yeah.
Because obviously they've built all the trails, so it's just like I kind of don't have to have any knowledge about it. Also, I'm a bit stupid when it comes to that. I don't have the room in my head to remember all of these different areas and whatnot.
I think, you mentioned it a little bit on the episode with John, but like how much has the island changed since you've been going? Because I feel from the outside looking in, he mentioned some numbers about how many people were going over.
It's a lot,
dude.
Yeah,
so many. I think it might have said like 10 or 12,000.
Yeah, I think it's 12,000. Yeah,
and that's just with.
I mean, I was really shocked at that. Yeah,
that's so many people. And
it's a lot.
Yeah. So have you noticed it change? Because you I think started going.
Yeah, really early.
Early, right?
I mean, I think honestly, the island itself obviously presents like crazy good terrain, and then John has done, and all the Freeride Madeira crew have done nothing but like improved on it. Yeah. So I think when I first came, it was quite raw, and like maybe there were, there's sections on an 8-minute trail that you're doing blind that have some turns that come up quick that you really need to make. There'll be a cliff, or there'll be like, it'll be hard to make the turn. Whereas now everything's like got catch berms and like it is dreamy, man. You don't have to know the trails. You can just blind bomb behind your guide.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
That's sick.
It's definitely my. It's funny as someone who really likes jumps. It's not like a bike park. The island. It's mountain bike. It's like probably the purest mountain bike experience, I would say. Because
Right.
even if you're uplifting, you still do like bits of traverse and you still do climbs and you explore, which is kind of, I think now what I like about mountain bikes, a suspension bike.
Yeah.
I don't always just want to go up to the top and then ride down a load of jumps, go up to the top, ride down a load of jumps. I quite like the idea that you're actually out in the mountains.
Exploring. It's, do you see like, and this might be a stupid question, but I feel there's obviously so many tourists on the island, bike tourists, etc. Is there like a local bustling scene of mountain bikers? Does that make sense? Or is it mainly driven by tourism? It's probably a stupid question, actually.
No, I don't think it is. But I do also think it's one I can't answer. I don't really know because there's so much riding. Like I definitely notice when you're driving around, you'll see other Freeride Madeira vans out with other bikes on.
Yeah.
But it's not like you really come in contact with everyone. The trails are so long and perfect, and like you're not like in a queue down the trails. I mean, I didn't meet anyone on trail, I don't think, the whole time I was there for the 5 days we were there. I don't know if we were off season or what, but like there's enough space.
That's what I mean. Like if you're just constantly bumping into like pockets of local. I mean, I wonder how long it takes for a scene like that to catch up as far as like having World Cup rider or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well they've had Emmanuel Pombo from the island who was obviously super fast. I think he lives mainland now, but
with so much access to riding, it's kind of like it's breeding ground. It's like Whistler.
It's
almost.
insane.
He's got so much stuff to go at.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. However, Whistler is centralised, whereas Madeira doesn't feel like that. There's trails on all of the best spots. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like if there's anything about Whistler that could irritate you, it probably would be the fact that it's so mountain bikey and it's so centralised and everyone funnels down into one place and then there's queues and it's also what you go there for.
You don't go for
immersed.
culture, do you? Whereas like there you can go for
Madeira,
culture
you don't
and food.
necessarily, you don't feel that way. You don't feel like you're reaching the bottom of the lift station and there's people everywhere and all of that. It still feels like, and again, that goes with my personal, I don't want to be around loads of people personally. So again, that suits me. Yeah. It's even more mountain bikey.
Rad.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Really good.
So the trip, I'd love to hear more about the trip. What did you end up riding? You say you're shooting a tyre, which we can't talk about yet, but it's going to accompany the Wrangler and the Newton.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we basically, we rode a load of hard to get to trails and filmed on them. I mean, obviously on a film project, like the scouting days were unreal because they're just what I like full days riding.
Yeah.
Whereas as soon as you start carrying all the camera equipment and you're trying to get shots, you're like, we had terrible weather, which is impossible to. It's funny actually. We did all the scouting with Freeride Madeira, and then when it came to the actual shooting, we were on our own with hire cars.
Okay.
And it's without John, instantly you realise, oh no, now I don't know how to get away from the rain. So we probably picked the wrong side of the island every time. So we were up against it with weather and stuff.
Really?
Like most of the time, if it's raining in one bit, you can just go to the other bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a real microclimate.
Okay.
Which I don't really quite understand, but it is.
Oh.
I guess it's about hot air rising and creating its own
So
weather
you do understand
from the sea. But yeah, I just don't understand how it works, really. I guess it's just direction of wind and temperatures, but
yeah, I don't know.
No, I don't.
Even with
really
the Magic Mind, dude,
still you can't.
It's not in there.
You can't sort of like.
You can take all the supplements you want, but it ain't in there. Sort of.
Let's try and play the piano right now. I can feel it.
Give me another box of this.
I think I know the piano. I know Kung Fu.
I've been learning about savants. Do you know what a savant is?
No, please.
A savant is someone who has a skill that hasn't been taught and they have it to a really high level.
Oh, nice. So like a self-taught skill.
But not even, you can just do it. So there's the word savant is often used for young people who can just speak another language. Or, because it is a real thing.
Or surely they can't just like learn a language.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
There's so much information.
We haven't got internet yet in the new place, so we can't.
Yeah, you can't fact check.
Ding!
I think
fact check. I'm pretty sure a savant.
I've only ever heard it like a musical savant. I don't think you can like have information that didn't previously exist.
I'm pretty.
Really, you can just go bonjour.
I mean,
without ever hearing the word bonjour
before. That's a good point.
I think musical savant. I think people.
Yeah. Can I just?
Please,
okay.
Please, dude.
Definition of a savant.
Please.
Is that okay?
Please.
Because obviously some people think I'm a savant at certain things. But
a scientific savant.
Yeah.
He just knows.
Yeah.
I don't know how he knows.
He just knows. I'm just going to put in, what is the definition of a savant? So, okay, a very learned or talented person, especially one distinguished in a particular field of science or the arts. Okay. But that doesn't align with what I'm saying, so I'll keep looking.
I think your example is right, but with music, I don't know if you'll be able to just speak a language.
Okay,
but
a person affected with a development disorder such as autism or intellectual disability who exhibits exceptional skill or brilliance in some limited field. Okay, so it's someone who they can be taught it, but they just become excellent at it.
Yeah, I've heard it loads with music because I think you either have it or you don't, like perfect pitch or like you can just sing. You're just amazing at singing.
Yeah, so that'd be a savant.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I tried
to say something smart.
It was good.
Bounce back.
It was good. I can't remember what we were talking about when we were... A microclimate savant. Yeah. Are we microclimate savants? No, is the answer. No, we're not.
Or science.
Yeah.
So what did you end up riding to film on? Like
everything. Yeah, we were all over the island. We ended up in 2 particular spots, and then we rode one area that kind of looks almost a bit rampagey. Obviously, when you're doing like a product launch, there's a requirement of there's like they need 12 images, or they need and some of them won't involve us at all. They'll just be the tire, and they'll need one like hero image. I quite enjoy all of that. We were with Nick and Matt, and they were doing video and film, video and photo.
Yeah.
So
Just you two, you and Krenza.
Yeah.
Rad. Really
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so it's great fun. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And then actually, whilst I was over there, I had a phone call from George. This put a dampener on my trip. It's nothing to do with Madeira, but
Literally?
basically, I had literally, yeah.
Sorry.
So I had
I shouldn't laugh.
she got the water bill through. I know you already know this story, but
Yeah.
I'm
It's
recounting it.
It's an interesting story, and hopefully our listeners
I think it's a good one.
might be able to help.
Other people might have gone through something similar. So we got a water bill through, and it was £5,000, and that's quite a lot of water. I mean, I do wash my bike.
You do ride a lot.
I do ride a lot. I do wash my bike. It's in the season, but we
Don't
were
shower
like,
that off.
that's a little bit too much water. That's a tiny bit too much water. So yeah, we had a leak, but we were unaware of the leak, and the leak wasn't in our house. The leak wasn't outside in our garden. It was underground with no trace. There's not one drop. So it was between the meter and our house, which, if you're listening to this, you are responsible for. So from wherever the meter is out on the road to your house, that is a bit of pipe work that's underground that you're responsible for. Financially.
This sounds made up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that there is something underground that isn't really connected to your house.
You don't know
It's
how
not even
old
near
it
your
is.
property, really, is it? It's all across the road.
No, it's underneath. It goes from outside my house,
Yeah.
underneath my garden, to my kitchen.
Okay.
That's all. It's
So you can't see
not
it.
that far. You can't see it.
You don't know if it's leaking,
You don't know if it's leaking.
but because it's after the meter,
That's correct. Yeah, it's your responsibility.
it almost sounds
probably-
made
so
up.
it'll be
It
the
sounds
same-
like a con.
I don't know, but it'll be the same with gas, I would imagine. Although maybe they have to connect. Maybe the gas has to be connected by. Anyway, it's yeah, and you don't know how long that pipe's been in there. Maybe it's plastic, maybe it's not. Maybe it's like an old metal pipe that's just corroding down there. Like you just don't know.
Yeah.
So George is at work the whole time. I'm in Madeira, and we're just trying to work out how to. In the end, honestly, Bren went over. I couldn't get a hold of anyone. Bren went over and just turned the water off because I was losing 10 meters cubed of water a day. So that's 10 meters cubed. If you imagine, that's 10 tons of water.
God, it's about the size of this room. Bigger.
You ever seen an IPC, like those water things? So 10 of those a day. It's a lot. A lot of water just going underground.
How long do you think it's been going for?
I don't know. I could look through the bills, but it's a bit painful. I don't know. It's been going on a while. It's between our last bill. So I think bills are quarterly, are they?
I'm not
water
sure.
bills quarterly? I don't
sure.
know. I don't remember. I mean, to be honest, it's completely irrelevant. It's $5,000 ago. So then
It
I'm
almost feels
organising-
like a con, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you told me, you just like, well, this is wrong. Like,
It's really frustrating.
surely
as well.
it's wrong. There must be something you can do. And then obviously you aren't
Yeah.
stupid. You're going to exhaust all those things to try and figure it out.
Absolutely, yeah. so it's like everything, like house insurance. I'm not a person that goes through all of the little tiny details of that. So I don't think anyone does. You're not like instantly like, oh yes, we have this allowance that I'm covered. Don't worry. So I wasn't covered anyway. So. And obviously I'm away and George is at home and she needs water for way more things than you kind of instantly think. You know what I mean? So we ended up having... Actually, did it happen before I went away? Or
This happened while you were in Madeira.
No, it was whilst I was in Madeira, yeah.
Yeah.
So she was having to fill up water bottles at work and bring them home and do the washing at home, and then little things like going to the toilet, you just have to do that off-site then because you can't flush the toilets. You got one flush each toilet. That's it. You got to make it count.
Yeah.
So so that was rubbish, dude. And then I was trying to remotely organise a new main because basically you can fix like a leak, but there's sort of no point because it's already leaked. So you can find the leak.
Which they put cameras down, is that right?
No, they actually leak gas. They
right.
pressurise it and put gas through, and then find out where the gas is coming out of the ground. I think that's I don't know, but I think that's how they do it. And but it's kind of pointless because if you fix that, then you still have all of this other pipe that's of the exact same age that next time it freezes, or it might be a bit too close to the surface of the dirt. So basically, there's no point in just fixing the leak if you don't know how old your pipe is. So you just replace it from the road to your house. I don't know if this is the most boring chat ever. I'm sure
it's the
people
most relatable
actually,
thing you've probably talked about.
Yeah, maybe.
For ages, because
maybe.
Not for ages. I didn't mean that sounded so offensive. I didn't
I
mean
hear
that.
you.
What I meant
I was on this photo shoot in Madeira. Anyway, the weather closed in. Shut up, Ollie.
Tell me about your water pipe.
Water pipe. But we've had this before. We talked about heating, and it was just like instantly, it just like gets people, because every single person out there
what I meant.
About. Yeah,
That's
I
what
hear
I meant.
you. I understand.
That's what, and everyone I haven't told loads of people. It's not like I've been broadcasting this, but I've told like I told Emma, and she was like, "What? Like how do we figure ours out? Like where is it? How do we do?"
Yeah, it's
one of those
insane.
things
It is a worry, isn't it?
You don't even think
worry.
about.
No. So anyway, I know I'm covered for something on the insurance, so then I'm trying to do the right thing and follow the correct procedure for insurance, because insurance people are slippery. Other than lacquer, they're rather slippery. They can be slippery. So I did all of the correct thing in the hope that someone will throw a small amount of change at me for something. So you have to follow their guidelines for like which people to use and all of this. I got a price back for a new main. It was $3,000. They had to fire a mole underground to get a new pipe. It's called a mole.
Oh, right.
It's not a mole plough. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
Which is this is super uninteresting. Probably I can actually see you glazing over.
No,
as well.
I'm still thinking about a mole going underground.
Well, it is pressurized.
Yeah,
they hammer through, so they can go. I think it's like 15 meters apart or 13 meters apart. So you dig down. Let's say you dig down a meter, and then you can fire.
And it just moves
13, 15 meters, and it just goes in a straight line, and then you can put pipe through.
Right.
Or it drags pipe through.
Okay. So just to clarify, so the water meter has a pipe coming off it, which goes to your house.
Yeah.
That's done. You can't reuse that because you can't fix it. 'Cause it's old.
You can't trust it.
And you can't sleeve it. You can't rebore it. You can't go back through it with plastic.
Don't want to bore it out. You don't want to make it thinner. There's nothing you can do.
Okay.
I mean, also, if you imagine excavating around a pipe, it's much easier to just make a whole new hole and a whole new pipe.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. That was $3,000, and the insurance covered 1,000 of it.
That's nice of them.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Call them out.
Bit of a stinger, eh?
Who is it?
I don't even know who the insurance company is, but it's not lacquer. Let's head to an ad break. Should we actually do a lacquer ad? No, we don't need it. Let's go to an ad break.
All right, folks, let's be real for a second. If you're watching this podcast or listening, then chances are you've probably got a face. Right? Got a face? Yeah, everyone's got a face. We also all love mountain biking, getting outside and pushing our boundaries to the limit. But do you know what really takes a beating? Our skin. Sun, sweat, stress, and let's face it, just existing all add up over the years. One day you're looking fresh, feeling invincible. And the next you catch yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, when did I start looking like I've been riding against a headwind for a decade? Or maybe you see a vision of Olly and you think, holy, I need to sort this out. Anyway, that's where OneSkin comes in. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company tackling aging at the molecular level, because moisturizer, it ain't cutting it anymore. The OS01 peptide is scientifically proven to reverse the skin's biological age by targeting those worn out, troublemaking cells that make us look older than we feel. Think of it like bike maintenance for your face, except instead of lubing your chain, you're restoring your skin to peak performance. Smoother, firmer, younger looking skin. No weird gimmicks, just straight up science. So, if you want your face to match the youthful energy you feel when you drop into a new trail, or at least make it look like you get more sleep than you actually do, that's quite important. It's time to start your new face, eye, and body routine today. Get 15% off with the code RIDECOMPANION at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code RIDECOMPANION. Remember, we only get one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin. Cheers, OneSkin. All right.
So we're back in. I'm sorry I had to go and put clothes on. I was freezing cold.
It's all right.
My apologies.
Not had a shower, have you? Not had a hot shower for a bit?
I've been in very, very warm climate, having many showers.
So what are we doing? Just giving for the water bill?
No, it wasn't meant to be a sympathy story, but it does make you think, doesn't it? It does make you think.
Yeah, it does.
That you're like responsible for it. I'd never even thought.
No
of
idea.
It. No,
absolutely zero.
I mean, do you even know where your meter is?
No, couldn't tell you at all.
Yeah.
I think it's at the end of the drive, but
yeah,
I'd have
normally,
to. Yeah. Well, we ain't got a drive, footpath.
And then they've got like a, it's that little small metal one.
Lift up great, isn't it?
And you can see it and it just spins. When what
does yours do?
So I was on FaceTime to George trying to work out, trying to get her to look at where it is so she could turn it off. And literally FaceTime, and she found it, dusted all the dirt off, lifted it up, and you could just see it just. But I think even when you just have a tap going, it moves pretty quick. So
yeah, I don't know. Never looked at one.
Yeah, it moves pretty quick, but you go through every single. I'll stop banging on about it, but you go through every single thing. And I was like, the meter must be faulty, but the meter is designed to not be faulty. The meter is a fan with water going through it that measures. It's like there's no way around it.
We're renovating.
Nice.
It's quite posh.
Yeah.
Decorating. That's what we call it actually up north. Our bedroom. And I took the radiator off and I felt so accomplished, dude.
Nice.
I took a radiator off.
Nice.
What a smart dude. I like the thing for
the isolatey.
Yeah. So I've took that off.
Nice.
The other side, I've nipped the thing in, took the radiator off. Oh, look at this. So happy with myself. But the boiler pressure had gone to 0. So I've gone couple of rooms down in the west wing of our house, done the thing to add pressure.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm stood there, and it takes ages. We've got really low water pressure, so I'm like stood there, and I can just hear like I can hear water, and I'm like, I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway,
oh no,
I'll give it a bit longer. I kept it on, I'm minding my own business, scrolling on my phone. Water pressure isn't going up on the boiler, so I'm like, hang on, do the thing, go in, and there's just water everywhere.
Were you taking the radiator off?
Yeah, where I take the radiator off. So when you take the isolator, I thought that when you put it on 0 and then took it off, that isolated the valve, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't take that off. You leave that on, and you leave it on 0 because it's a pin which goes up and down, isn't it? So yeah, I took it off. So obviously I'm filling the boiler up, and it's just pissing into the room.
How much damage was it? Not too bad.
It wasn't too bad. We got a little bit coming through the ceiling in the room below, but apart from that, we're okay. But yeah,
it's insane how little water. Like it makes such a leak in the ceiling. It's always really shocking, I think, having water leaking through a ceiling in the house.
Yeah, gnarly.
Yeah.
Did we do the podcast when I flooded our old house?
Don't know.
When I bought
the flooder.
No, and I bought the B-Day. Did we do the podcast when I bought the B-Day?
No, I don't.
So I had this business idea. You know, you like a B-Day, don't you? Especially now.
B-Day's a bit hands-on. I like a jet.
You like a jet?
Yeah.
So a B-Day, there was a company doing podcast ads years ago called, can't remember, Hello Tushy? Yeah. So I'm like, it's a right good idea. I'll get one of those.
Do it in England.
Couldn't find any in England. Right. He's gone on Alibaba. He's meshes the people. He's got the sample sent over. Installed it myself.
It's easy.
It's
simple.
Anyone can do it. It worked for a couple of days. And then one morning, it was like middle of the night, I got up to take a piss. I've gone in the bathroom, and I'm like, why are my feet wet? That's weird. Feet are wet. No. And I looked, and I'm like, oh my God, there is 6 inches of water on the floor. And oh no. And I went downstairs to go in the kitchen to get some towel and stuff. and the whole ceiling was
it's horrible.
a gap in it, and it was open, and there's water everywhere, and it just leaked out of this one little hole, like a screw hole. Just done that, like for a day, basically. So yeah, whole kitchen.
So much devastation, doesn't it?
Yes. Emma's never let me live that one down. So yeah, the B-Day went. That was it. Business idea over. Bought the URL, everything. Came up with an amazing business name. I'd done all the cool graphics.
So annoying.
Ready to go.
Didn't even get a chance to get the business going so you could pay for the new ceiling.
No.
I just said it caused so much devastation, and I became instantly aware that there's been insane earthquakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whilst I was away, I saw. It was like, I haven't really looked it up. But in Thailand, I think.
Okay.
I think there was,
really?
But there's some really crazy images of people in infinity pools on top of buildings. I saw one of a guy in a lift. I saw another one of like it.
What? And it's moving?
Earthquakes. Videos of earthquakes look fake. You can't believe that it moves in that way, because it's not like you'd think it'd be like a vibration, like a. It's like a
sway. Whoa. I've never been in one. Have you?
Yeah, small ones in California, but they're just
I've never been in one.
But every time it's just been like, shit, was that an earthquake? It wasn't. It wasn't ever a bad one.
Proper
I've never been
one.
in a bad earthquake. Yeah.
No, I've never. I think
Shocking
there was
to see.
A museum once that I went to as a kid, and there was like an experience.
Natural History Museum.
Yeah, there you go.
And all the cans of beans got string on.
Yeah. I did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like that really, but that was probably quite an extreme one. But
so many countries are on tectonic plates where they experience them all the time. You must become used to them. But the one that I saw was like a couple in one of those infinity pools on top of really tall buildings, and it turned into a wave pool, and they're like clambering to get out of the pool.
Oh my.
The whole building must be like, they're obviously engineered very.
They're giving them.
Yeah, they really are engineered well. What is it they've got? They've kind of got mass dampers on them. You know what people are putting on their bikes at the minute? Look how bike podcast this is.
Well
so
done.
Good.
Brought it back.
Do you know what a mass damper is?
No.
So it's a sprung weight.
Okay.
So if you just, I'm going to absolutely butcher this. We're going to have so many.
You were hoping I was going to say yes.
Yeah, I really was. I really, really was. We're going to have so many of the people with mean pink bike comments, just like, oh, this guy. So if my understanding, like the simplest way of talking about it would be like a cylinder with a weight in the middle and then two springs. So the weight moves up and down.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, like a shake.
I'm not going to do it like that. It's just a weight that goes up and down within a cylinder.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can imagine dropping it on the floor. Here we go. Imagine dropping that cylinder on the floor. The weight that's sprung would move down, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't bounce.
No.
So that's the idea.
Okay. So they've got mass dampers on buildings.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I believe so, and I think they work in whatever direction you put them in. So they'll work in side to side. So if you've got a weight in the middle,
otherwise every time there's one of those, people would get really hurt as well.
Maybe people can put in the comments how they actually work, but I think it's pretty much it. So you have it on a different axis, and then it does the same job on that axis.
Okay. Did you see the stuff about the pyramids that they found? Pyramid of Giza with the massive structures underneath.
No.
Oh, it's so interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's been.
Is that recent? Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a few people.
I
obviously
missed a load of bits. Yeah.
Debunky, doing whatever, talk about it. But basically, they did this like LiDAR detection.
Yeah.
So they got imagine the huge pyramid. They've done this LiDAR about all of the ground underneath, and basically there's these huge columns with like spiral, like a spring around them underneath, and they can see it from this LiDAR thing.
Wow.
And they've made these amazing 3D images of this pyramid, and the pyramid looks tiny, dude, because underneath is just this massive column.
So
and then they think there's chambers underneath as well.
What are we're moving straight from one section that with us talking about mass dampers that we don't understand on buildings straight into historical hearsay.
Yeah.
So pyramids were tombs, is that correct?
I'm not sure, dude.
Let's just leave it.
I'm not. I think you can obviously. There's loads of rabbit holes we could go down. I believe
they were tombs.
I think they thought they were tombs, but I'm not sure. There's obviously.
Doug, are you looking it up?
He's not listening. We don't have Wi-Fi.
It says yes.
Oh,
it's a tomb.
But there's loads of chambers in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think there's still a lot of mysteries about what is in all of them because they've not accessed it all.
Yeah.
And then obviously finding this stuff underneath is like, well, what is that?
And they're closed and meant to be sealed, and that's it. That's why it's like a bit of a portal to the afterlife, isn't it? Because you're just essentially going into a a grave.
Yeah, that's what they thought. And again, I'm really interested in this stuff, but it's one of those subjects that I'm not a what was the word we were trying?
Savant.
I'm not a savant.
You didn't just wake up one day and know everything there is about the pyramids.
No, but I have loved all of the lost civilization stuff over the years. I've got really interested in that, but again, it's one of those things that I can't like. I'd need 8 magic minds to be able to riff on it. Yeah, I'd really struggle. It is hard. But I guess tombs. Yeah, I don't know, but the way they're all positioned is really interesting.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to research that using the internet, where there'll be loads of stuff on it. I'm sure. No, that sounds good.
I saw a TikTok, and I shouldn't look at it. It's horrible. But there was this guy going. There's this scientist, and he's made his way down the columns under the pyramids, and I'm like, what? He hadn't, surely. And I'm like reading the comments, and it was just a con. It was just a fake video.
Rubbish.
Yeah, it was just doing it for clicks and views and whatever to make money. Well annoying. But yeah, dude, it was
well annoying. And then we're gonna have the thumbnail for this: the pyramids explained. You know what I mean? God, such idiots on TikTok ruining everything. TRC, the pyramids explained.
This is where you come for your pyramid knowledge.
Yeah.
Graham Hancock lives around here.
Does he?
Yeah.
He loves all that, doesn't he?
He'd be a good guess, wouldn't he?
Does he really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He's from around this place, around this neck of the woods, wherever we are in the world.
How interesting.
In the secret bunker.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, so much to talk about. So Madeira, back from Madeira.
Filling up water bottles, getting it sorted. It was literally the day I was leaving, we got water. So I left feeling
But you came back quick for a pit stop, didn't you?
Yeah, pit
Madeira
stop.
And then off again.
Pit stop. Basically, the pit stop was to get feel a bit conscious that I'm just talking about what I've been up to. I want to hear more about your renovation. We were talking about your renovation.
No, you don't.
Okay. I got back and you sort of, obviously, in the ideal world, you have like 5 days and you sort of ride your bike a bit, get really comfy, get all your stuff dialed. Obviously, I'm back for less than that and I'm dealing with like water pipes. But I had to get my bike readied for Mexico.
Yes.
So a huge shout out to MB actually, because they've really helped me.
Nice.
Get my bike street race ready. So I went with my lucky green Focus Jam.
Makes sense.
Which is the 3rd time it's done Guanajuato testing. Like the bike doesn't have to really do a great deal, but the thing about these builds is like you have to just be 100% ready to go when it comes to testing.
Yeah.
And you don't really have a warm up. There's no blue trail. There's no nothing. You just have to drop in and do it. So I wanted to get it as street race as possible, and Ben at MB was super keen for it. So we tried to make my 150mm trail bike into a street race ready version. How would you do it?
I would pump up the forks and shock. I would probably put, I mean, it's not that, it is important, but not at this moment. But I might have got the snips out and maybe taken the middle of the tire off a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was actually looking. A lot of street racers do that.
Yeah, that's
Lucas Borber. I think it runs.
Really?
Cut. Yeah, it was quite interesting actually seeing what they.
You want it to be, I don't know what the word is, not silent, but I'd probably get rid of some gears.
That's what I did. Small cassette.
There you go. And I pumped the tires up, and then
Small cassette. I took the dropper off as well, and it made. It's really funny because it worked perfectly for me. I put some 38s on, new X Fusion Vengeance 38s.
Nice.
They were actually a really welcome addition because we had to jump off some buildings. So it's just nice to look down on a big set of forks.
Yeah. There's like khaki coloured ones.
Yes. Yeah,
they're
indeed.
Nice.
So I did actually leave, and I got a few runs on my ramp in, which was good. And I did actually leave thinking, yeah, my bike is actually ready. But it just was all such a rush. It was so hectic.
Yeah.
What I did find interesting though, now I've got back, I've got my bike, and it's just like that bike's a 150 travel everyday bike, and it's just like it's being castrated now. Like the thing is just like, what do I do with it? You can't pedal it anymore. It was amazing to see how much difference it made taking a dropper off a bike, at how like a trail bike just becomes like, or an enduro bike.
Yeah, you're like, now what?
Kind of useless. Like I've never had a slope Duro bike or any of these, like a jib bike.
Yeah,
I guess it kind of is what it is, and
so it's an uplift bike.
I guess jibbing is not for me. I want to be able to. Like, how do you get anywhere? You walk? Do you walk the thing around? Yeah, it's an uplift bike. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's kind of how we used to have them in a way.
True.
With the dropper, and I mean,
Absolutely.
for me, most of the gears would never work anyway, so you'd only have a few to choose from.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, the gears work perfect, but they're just a tiny cassette.
yeah.
You couldn't pedal it anywhere. I mean, it is interesting because it did feel great out there. Something about having a small cassette and a chain and a quiet derailleur was really nice, actually. Because all the stairs and stuff are so rough. And yeah. So yeah, I had.
I guess, sorry, just to interrupt you.
No.
That's one of the things that if people are probably wondering why you were so bothered, and they've maybe missed previous episodes, the thing is about BSI and the service you offer to those racers is you physically test everything that you build.
So we test all the features.
Yeah, take a bike out there that's ready to actually test the features, and it's going to be sustainable and it's going to work.
Yeah, it needs to work when you've got the road closed. There's no time. It's got to go. Yeah. So yeah, you're quite right. Yeah. I mean, it'd be lovely to just build all the features and not have to test them and then be like, enjoy in practice. But yeah, so we always make sure we test everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you've gone to Mexico. Who's the crew this time around, man? Who have you taken?
The crew this time around is obviously boss man Christian Fairclough. He's the mastermind for every feature, how it's actually gonna. So you can make a feature, you can ride it, but then it's got to last 200 runs plus.
Right.
That's it's actually really difficult. The work never stops. I get a lot of questions as to why I don't race it or do like even if I just did like a full top to bottom run. There's a lot of reasons why. It'd be lovely to maybe not race it, but like, well, I wouldn't qualify, but it'd be nice to do a top to bottom and have a GoPro clip to put out or something like that. But
yeah,
if you think about what it entails doing a top to bottom run, it means all of the features have to be ready and all of the roads have to be closed. So on the day of practice, after everything's built, everything's tested, on the day of practice, we still have a giant list of jobs. Most of the roads still have to be open, so I can name all of the things that we have to do on the day, and it's such a long list.
Yeah.
You know, like even the first left-hand berm, that has to have a door through it. So we leave off like 7 timbers. So you have to put the 7 timbers, you have to cut them all, put them up, test it, take them down. Then you have to take them down and screw them to the feature so that the wood doesn't get nicked. And then the next ramp needs to be fixed to the floor because it's in the middle of the road. But then it gets driven over by a car when you've moved it to the side. So then you have to repair it. Like there's just a never-ending list of things.
Wow.
So we've got quite a big responsibility for the course as a crew, and then Phosphoro, obviously, who's a ride companion alumni. He's got all the rest of the responsibility. So yeah, it's a stressful. The whole thing's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
I really love doing them. I like every time I go and do them, I just think, wow, I could do more of these. Not too many. I think my lips would look worse than they are now, but it's yeah, I do love doing them.
Yeah. So anyway, let's just unpack. So you come home from Madeira, bit stressed, water bill's high. We're trying to figure that out. We've got the bike to get sorted.
Yeah.
So it's a special street race bike. You just
race bike. That's done. That's in the bag.
That's in the bag. And then it's off to Mexico with the crew.
Off to Mexico.
And who is the crew?
The crew. Christian Fairclough, the boss. He makes everything work. He's unflappable. The dude's. We've done 10 years of building street race courses, and he's just used to running giant sites and building projects and stuff. So he's super important to have along. Literally couldn't do him without him.
Yeah.
We got John, Papa John. He's obviously a lifelong trail builder, and we always put John, I mean, John does everything, but we always put him in charge of the dirt. So at the end of the course, we always have like dirt features and they take a lot of watering and a lot of managing. And John now, after doing so many, John, you just, like, it doesn't even get talked about. John does all the dirt. He orchestrates all of the, getting the dirt in, getting the machines on it so they don't crush the landings. The landings aren't just made out of dirt. They're made out of pallets and...
you're like a step sort of.
That's
vibe,
right,
yeah.
So you can't just get a tipper truck and dump it in it because it'll all just shatter. You have to like slowly build it up. And so John takes care of that.
Dirty John, they call him.
Dirty John. And then Tom, who's all of these guys are obviously really good riders as well, which is super important because we basically have to... It all looks easy when it's done. It all looks like you haven't even built that much. But when you're stood on top of a building and you know you've got to take a bike off it, it's actually very difficult to pick a spot where you just make a landing.
Yeah,
you stand, like I stand up there and Christian will be like, here. And you're kind of like, you know, you hold up timber and then you're sort of like, yeah, I think we can jump to there. Everything has to be in a bit of an order because you can build a landing and then you can be like, whoa. That's way too far, or and then we have to extend the lip, or, you know, there's so much going on. So it's really important that everyone rides. And Tom, the last member of the crew, is amazing BMX rider. I've ridden with him for like 20 years. So this is a crew of people that have known each other for like decades and decades.
Yeah.
Which is also very important because it's
testing environment.
You're on top of each other, aren't you? You're like, I couldn't do it unless it was mates that I know are like resilient to rolling around in feces and just getting the job done.
That's why they call it Dirty timber. John, isn't it?
It's like 2,500 meters up, so you've got to be real fit. It's high altitude to go up steps with a load of timber. And then we're joined obviously by Phosphoro's team, led by Diego this year, who was, you know, that you need people that can speak Spanish properly, not like the caveman, broken, useless Spanish that I speak. So Diego's unreal and does a great job of getting all the materials to each spot, which I look back on how we used to do it. It's insane. We used to have a compound at the bottom of town. Any of the races that we've done before, we'd have a compound, all the materials, and we'd build ramps and stuff in there, and then we'd like struggle with them on pickups to the spots. It's not the way to do it. Like the way that Phosphoro, Diego, Kerwit and all the team do it is so good. So we turn up, we've got a schedule, we build the schedule, and then we turn up and the materials are there. It's just the dream, yeah.
And that's just been over time.
Yeah, we're third year in now, so we're really efficient, and it is lovely going back there. There's all people that maybe year one, you're in like the dangerous neighbourhood. At the top of the track is supposedly like, it's not dangerous, but it's like the dangerous part of town. And year one, it's kind of an intimidating environment. And now we're just like mates with everyone. Kids are out playing. It's just like great fun. It's really good.
Yeah. So as far as the course went for this year, a few changes.
Yeah, big changes. Yeah, big changes. I never know if they come across in the live feed. What you'll find is that the race will just be more exciting, and you might not even notice a change. So like last year we tried to slow down the top steps because we always want to make a safe race course. Really, it became very apparent that people don't need the top steps slowed down. So we sped them up. We made the fastest first straight possible, which involved making like a crazy, we're calling it a slingshot. It's like a bermed landing. So you jump off a building into a bermed landing, and then you're just into these evil steps, and then a big road gap. The big road gap was probably the feature that caused me the most worry when I lay in bed every night, because it was like high speed.
Okay. I
realise I'm really comfortable if you just stick me around 12 miles an hour. I'm fucking good to go. I'll jump off anything. I'll do whatever. Yeah, I just feel more in control of my bike at a slightly lower speed. I always feel it when I go to like bike parks like Davi or whatever. Like at super high speed, I just feel obviously the bike doesn't behave in the way that I'm like, I know I'm really good at a certain speed. That's all I mean. Okay. I know I'm really in control at a certain speed. And as soon as it gets faster, it's like, I don't know how it behaves over steps and stuff. And even in turns, I don't really like how a bike behaves at high speed.
Okay.
Quite weird, isn't it? But I guess I grew up in the Surrey Hills.
Exactly, yeah. You just don't do it.
All the turns are like,
often,
they're all tight together. And, yeah. So like generating speed and stuff like that, I really like. Whereas the race courses these guys are like capable, and the speeds they're capable of going at, you know, you watch the sharp end of the field in any downhill race, it's so high speed. So we tried to match that with our first straight and the first turn, which is, it worked perfectly, but it was scary for me to test because, again,
did you have to hit those steps as well at that speed to get over the road gap?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what warm up do you have? I've never had less warm up.
Right.
There's nothing you can do.
No.
Like, what am I going to do? Ride down the steps quick and then brake on the feature? It's not. You can't even slow down. So, and then after the feature, you've got a left-hand turn that you have to hit, full commitment. So it's like you just have to do what speed you think first run, and we're trying to make the speed that we're all thinking is quite high. So
it's race speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's gnarly, dude. You straight in. Yeah.
So I went super quick in first run. Went pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
It was all good, but I did worry about it a lot. Actually, I did. First straight.
I know. It's slightly off topic, I guess, but like whenever I text you when you're out there, you're like, "Yeah, I'm nervous about this. I'm not sleeping. It's 4:30 in.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Because
like, you got jet lag, and then you're just like,
gnarly.
The frustrating thing is you can't. You know, there's always that. It's all probably psychological, so it's just a build up. And I've got a lot of like weight on. I obviously want to just get over the feature and for it to be good, but I want all of those riders, I really want them to like it and think it's good.
Yeah.
If it's crap, it reflects really badly on us. You know, as a whole, it's like we're not. There's a way of building stuff that makes it
is that
like,
a
safe.
process that you do the end of the race? For example, last year, you're like, "Oh, what do you think?" Or is there a bit of rider feedback that comes into it?
You get to hear it in track walk. Yeah.
Okay.
You get to hear absolutely no holds barred, because I feel for them, because we've got used to it all. Even though I'm lying in bed worrying about it, we're still around that feature for long enough that you really know exactly how big it is. All these guys, I really don't take it for granted that they've just got off planes. They're jet lagged and they know they've got to race down this as fast as they can. And you can, you know, when you turn up and the course looks gnarly, you're like, could really do with it not being gnarly. And where does the finger go? BSI boys. So yeah, it's really important that, like, I mean, thank goodness I test it, otherwise I'd feel so bad. But then at least when you test it, you can just say to them, look, I went this speed. So there were certain features as we moved down the course. We've covered the top bit. There was at Gary's.
Yep.
Gary's, we made like a diving board on the edge. Weirdly, that was something we just wanted to make it bigger, because the years before it had been quite a pedal on downhill bikes. I just watched Valparaiso. Bernard's chain skipped. He didn't make it out a window. Race run over. That sort of stuff I hate. I hate the idea that races can come all that way and then just like annoying little mistakes can cost them their run. Even if it costs you a second, it doesn't cost you your whole run. You don't have to stand in a window and be like, ah. So we put this diving board on because we thought then you get a couple of cranks, reset, get two wheels on and off. And that was such a cool feature. Like, I know everyone hated it when they turned up and they're like, oh, why have you done that? But in my eyes, I wanted to see that kind of leveled it, because you had the diving board itself, you had to get two wheels on. I don't know if I'm going into too much detail about this, but it was kind of like Brendan's treehouse drop. Yeah. You have to get two wheels on and then you have to, and then what do you do from there? You pull a little bit on your first run. But the fact that you have to get your two wheels on means that everyone's speed is kind of like regulated. Okay. You have to go a speed where you can get two wheels on. Or you have to go, I wanted to see if someone would go off the top. I was going to say, was anyone? So that's the dream, is to make a feature that there's like a faster way to complete. It's all just a puzzle, isn't it? For these races, they got to work out the fastest way down each thing. So anyway, we built that, tested that, and it was mint. That was really good. That worked perfect. And then, and everyone loved it in the end. Okay. It worked out. It became a really good feature. But on the build-up, you obviously get a lot of like doubt, like, oh, that looks sketchy, whatever. It does look sketchy. Yeah, sketchy to build. I literally had Tom holding my feet as I was like, you're just putting 4x2s out a window with a drop. There's no landing there at the time when you're building it. So you're just hanging out a window, like nailing planks. You nail one plank down, then you sit on it. Nail the next plank down, sit on it. And then the next one was Frida's.
Okay, yeah.
There were obviously loads of changes, but that was the next one that was probably scary.
Was Frida's the one we went off the roof rather than out the window?
Which I've got to shout. I've got to give props to Phosphro, because actually the first year in Guanajuato, when it was like, it was pretty overwhelming when you turn up to a new spot, you don't know how long stuff's going to take. Phosphro wanted to go off the roof first year round in Guanajuato.
Right.
And actually that year we were like, oh, we can't, dude. We can't. That's too mental, because it essentially goes into a garden and then it goes off another 20-foot wall. It doesn't come across in the videos, but it's really, really a huge drop in altitude between the roof of a building and the road.
Okay.
You've got like a 3-story building, and then you've got the garden. It's so steep. It's not like a garden where you play football. It's like if you roll a rock, it goes down onto the road off a 20-foot drop. So
okay.
Yeah, so year one we were like, no, we can't. So year one we went out the window. Year two we made it like faster, and it went around through the garden. And then finally Phosphro got what he wanted. What he always knew would work. We went off the roof. So
and it worked perfect?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Out of which one was the most nerve-wracking feature to test?
Weirdly the first, which caused everyone
steps,
the least.
Or the road gap. Or the steps into the road gap.
The steps into the road gap, weirdly, was the one that caused the most stress. Which I don't really understand, but I think, again, it just goes to that speed thing. Just for me. For everyone, it was different. You ask each one of the boys on the team, we talked about it a lot, like which one would you be most worried about hitting? Because obviously all of them are capable of riding all these features. And some people will be like the wall ride, the mandatory wall ride.
Yeah.
I guess if it's your opposite way, it's a very peculiar feeling turning up onto a wall. I don't know. But it's different for every single person.
The wall ride is an interesting feature, isn't it? Because you make it mandatory that they have to touch the wall.
That's right, yeah. It's like an urban racing thing. I think they try and have it in each round.
Okay.
Yeah. Just
try and, again, level the playing field. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
And we've got that weird design that really, really works somehow. It's just like a fanned.
Okay.
Basically, if you've got a 90-degree wall, and you've got 8-foot lengths of 4x2.
Yeah.
If you just put them up against the wall at lowering points, it creates that like cool, like looking fan thing. So, yeah, it's different for everyone. Like Christian was saying, he was probably more scared of the last jump. It's massive, but that was his one that he picked. And I think Tom and
is that a set distance now? Because I remember, was it last year you moved it?
Yeah, we had to
too big. Or did you go too deep? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it's really unfair if we... The thing is, you've got to make it for the whole field. And the whole field, they're all the fastest racers in the world, but everyone has different skill sets. And some people aren't jumpers, some people are. Some people on downhill bikes. Slavic's on a 160. Wynn has 2 giant legs that can power him into the last jump because he's not fatigued. You know, it's really different. So... obviously, Slavic and Wynn would both be saying the last jump could be bigger. And then you've got other riders that are literally front wheel casing. Someone front wheel cased the last jump.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for putting it in a place that's like somewhere in the middle where Slavic and Wynn can scrub it and someone else can, the person that cases it can make it over it. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it for like an hour long broadcast, but what a broadcast it was.
Yeah, it was a broadcast.
And what a race it turned out to be.
What's your vibe on the race day then? Like, where are you at? Do you watch? Do you enjoy? Or do you just... No. No.
So, it's a great point. So, I test it for 3 runs maximum on each feature.
Yep.
Pretty much. That's all the time we have to test. So, that tests the durability of 3 runs, not 200 runs. So when it comes to practice, that's terrifying. No one knows what speed. This is when you're going to get cases. It's when you're going to get material failure. If you've got a bit of wood with a knot in, you just don't have time to... There's no time to build stuff really nicely. You have to build stuff in situ as fast as you can with everything like either being 8 foot wide or 4 foot wide, pretty much, because that's the length of a complete bit of timber.
Yeah.
You really do try and make it so it's as quick as possible, because we're up against it the whole time. So practice comes round, we're split up around the course, we've got timber hid everywhere, everyone's got a radio, a impact driver, we've got a saw kind of middle and top. We have to think about all those things, which you don't think about. We had a mint year this year. We had 2 material failures, which were... See, it's always the things you overlook.
Okay.
It's always the things... And I've written it down. I do like a summary of what we do each year and what things we can do better. And every year, it's the small things that matter. It's the small things that fail. So it was just a sheet of ply. It was a compression after the first step down. A sheet of ply to stop people puncturing on a particularly brutal step, basically. And it's like something you don't even think about. Lay down 3 bits of 4x2, whiz them in, and you're just like, yeah, that'll be fun. But obviously when you got Slavic pumping as hard as he can into it during practice, I was sat right next to it and it exploded. So then you don't want to close the course. Luckily, I've got a storeroom with another sheet of MDF. Quickly, between riders, put it on, screw it down. Same thing happens again. So it's little things like that that you have to be on site. Otherwise, it'd be course closed and people don't get practice runs. And obviously, you want to keep it open.
Yeah.
We've had stuff before, kind of, you build it in one place and it's solid, and then it like centipedes off. The feature itself kind of breaks itself free. And yeah, we've had that before, and then they've had to close that feature in practice, which is like really crap for racers.
Yeah. And
what's even more crap for is Red Bull's live feed. So that's why in finals we're spread out around the hill, just and that's all BSI boys and also all of the Phosphoro Productions team that are all ready to step in if something goes wrong. But it's nerve-wracking. It is really nerve-wracking. When it's like live, you don't have any time to enjoy the race. You're just checking features, checking something's moving, reacting to radio. It's like, yeah, it's a lot, yeah.
Jeez. Thank God it is only an hour-long broadcast. It'd be terrifying if it was the whole thing.
We had more riders than normal there this year. We had a really stacked field of riders, actually. Some World Cup boys. It's really cool to see stuff progressing and see more people turn up for them. Yeah. So, yeah, we had 40 riders rather than 30.
I watched it. I just can't remember it. It was like, what was
memorable race
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Mate, it was.
I had a lot of sleeps in there. And I'm trying to remember, but obviously Slavic crashing out was.
That's right. It was a crazy race, actually.
Yeah.
I don't have all the numbers, and obviously I haven't even watched the race, but Slavic was in line to win the overall series.
Yeah.
I think he had to come.
Was he 6th or better or something like that?
I think so, yeah. Which is it's not easy to come 6th at Cerro Abajo. Yeah. I mean, you've got such amazing riders, literally the best riders on the planet, not qualifying. You've got crazy World Cup veterans that have been at the pointy end of the sport for their entire careers. You've got Brooke McDonald, you've got like Phil Atwill, all people that you'd think would suit street racing, and they do, but like you can't just storm straight in and win. They're all building confidence and building speed, and like it takes time. So I'm well excited to see whether the Central and South Americans can be caught, because it
almost makes that Jackson second.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Even more impressive.
It's very impressive.
When you you see people like a Brooke or a Phil Atwill or
he came straight
whoever.
Yeah, I'm struggling to remember the names off the top of my head of the entire field, but it was
Roger Vieira, right?
It was incredible. Yeah.
Won the race. No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't.
No, he didn't. No.
And that's why you're here.
Yes, that's right. So one for Valles.
One for won the race, of course.
Yeah, one for Valles, one quali, and then the race, which is
one for won the race.
Insane to pull that off. It's like the perfect. Like what I love about it is that it's the perfect storm, isn't it? You've got last guy on the hill. You've got Rob Warner commentating. The times are getting faster. You're in for a good show.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what Warner and Elliott do so well. Like that kind of just like, that kind of like on a graph where it just is like the buzz and excitement. And you can feel it. Like I wasn't I obviously couldn't watch the live feed, but you can feel it. I was down the bottom-ish, so you can feel the crowd. The crowd was massive this year.
Really?
Oh,
it's
massive.
getting bigger, yeah.
It's getting bigger, yeah.
Wow.
It's getting bigger. The field's more stacked, and it's faster than ever.
Yeah. And apparently maybe going to go to some new venues potentially in the future as well, which is exciting.
Yep, I'm not clued up. I
No.
obviously in the Cerro Abajo, I only do Guanajuato. I'd love to do more. I'd love to see the race series go to more places, and I love it.
I think
I'm biased.
of course,
done
but
2 weeks.
all the stuff that, I mean, again, we don't want to harp on about it, but like broadcast stuff, whatever. But those broadcasts, like you said, you know, what a broadcast was. Even the build-up, dude.
Yeah.
The segments, I don't know if you've seen it, but
No.
like Robin Elliott did with Mexican wrestling, all the stuff was just like a hype train, and you can't wait to see them watch the race. Like they kill it, dude. They absolutely kill it. It's so
If
good.
you haven't watched one, watch one.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, all of the guys at the top, they're rock stars, and just because you might, if there's like a South American rider that you don't know the name of, it's not to say these guys are rock stars. They're so famous over there. It's such a big deal. It's really cool. It's very difficult if you're from Colombia to get to the World Cups because they're European Cups essentially. So it's really, really hard. Like the amount of money it costs to go over there. So if you want to see another part of the world and you want to see people racing, like not fast, like when Wunfer's on track, when Holguin's on track, when Vieira's on track, you know it. It's insane. The pace on these dudes is, and it's so precise. It has to be so precise because everything's made of concrete.
Yeah.
I really like it. Obviously, I really like it.
Yeah, I think for me as well, hopefully a lot of people who listen to the podcast coming on this journey with you, building them more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's super exciting. Yeah, big fan of the sport and all that. Doesn't Vieira live?
That's right, yeah.
Him and his
brother, well, his family moved to, well, he rides a lot in Wales, like around Birmingham.
Yeah.
Stoked for him, actually, because he's shown promise at quite a few races, and I think that him on the podium is
rad.
Really cool.
Really cool.
And he's such a lovely bloke as well. Like,
good guess. Let's get him on.
Let's get him on for sure. He'll be keen for it. I actually didn't even say that to him, but absolutely, yeah.
That'd be sick.
Coming on.
After the ad.
Well, not literally.
No.
Like, we need to book you in. Let's go to that. All right, let's talk about something serious. Bike theft. It's brutal. You put time, money and love into your bike and then one day, gone. And here's the worst part. 60% of bike thefts happen at home. Now, I've been using HipLok since they first started the original HipLok chain lock back in 2011. It was the first ever wearable bike lock, and I've had mine for years, but HipLok hasn't stopped innovating. They've gone next level with the 1000 series, and honestly, this is a game changer. The D1000 is the world's first anti-angle grinder bike lock. Now, if you don't know, angle grinders are how most bikes get stolen these days, because they cut through normal locks like butter. But this, it literally stops them. It uses graphene composite technology, has a square profile to defeat bolt croppers, and even features anti-rotation double locking tabs, which means if a thief wants to cut through it, they'd have to do it twice. Good luck with that. And they don't just stop at locks. HipLok also made the AX1000 anchor, so now you can bolt your own bike down at home, stopping thieves again in their tracks. Whether you've got an e-bike, a motorbike, a jet ski, or a bike you'd die for, this is the setup you need. Serious security for serious riders. We have an exclusive offer just for the TRC family. We'd like to offer a free Jaw Plus compact bike rack and Z-Lock combo security tie with a 1000 series purchase. That's with the exception of the BR1000 bracket. All you got to do is use the discount code The Ride Companion in caps at hiplok.com/The Ride Companion. Don't wait until you're posting stolen. Keep an eye out on Instagram. Get protected with HipLok. Back to the show.
Olly's just nipped to the bathroom, so I thought I'd just have a quick HUEL break, which is actually the perfect segue into this ad. We are extremely excited to welcome HUEL to the podcast. If, like me, you end up running late, you don't have time for breakfast, and you just end up starving all the time, like I do. We've all been there, all right? You're racing around, you're trying to do meetings, you're doing school pickups, which I don't do. Whatever it is, you're going to need something delicious, easy, quick, nutritious to fill the void. So this podcast is now sponsored by HUEL, HUEL, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand with over 400 million meals sold worldwide. Yes, you heard it right. That's 400 million. HUEL is trusted by people just like you and me to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. So you can now actually try it for yourself with our exclusive discount code. You can get 10, in fact, no, we're not doing 10. We're going to do 15% off with our code RIDE at HUEL.com. But I also want to tell you about my personal favorite, okay? Strawberry banana. My 2 favorite things. I love strawberries. I love bananas. You can't go wrong with putting them together. Plus adding 35 grams of protein. These things leave you feeling full, and you're not like scratching around for food in gas stations. You're not grabbing a quick fast food meal or whatever. You can actually tick that nutritional deficiency off with a good quality product. So yeah, this is my personal favorite. I also love the new black edition, the ready to drink. It's got another whopping 35 grams of protein, 27 different vitamins and minerals, and it all comes in one handy bottle. Basically, it tastes like milkshake, and who doesn't love milkshake? So that's 15% off with code RIDE at HUEL.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with HUEL. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Biking. Cheers, HUEL. Fantastic ads.
Oh yeah. I realise I've just rabbited on about all. Jonny Holiday has come back on the podcast, and he's just rabbited on about. I did this, I did that. No. I want to hear about your renovation now.
No, it's not. There's nothing to really say, man. I've been on holiday.
Where did you go on holiday? Thank you.
I went to Northumberland. Beautiful part of England on the East Coast.
East coast of Wales.
East coast of the UK.
East coast of the UK.
East coast of the East coast of the UK.
Okay.
Beautiful. I mean, it's all right. It's nice. You know, it's like there's Berwick upon Tweed up there, so that's where I went. Do you remember the dude in COVIDial times who drove to Bamburgh Castle to test his eyesight?
No.
Do you not?
No.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he drive from London to test his eyesight? Yeah. You know, you couldn't go anywhere. And he got caught and was like, oh yeah, I'm testing my eyesight. He'd driven from London to Bamburgh Castle. It's like 6 hours. So we went there. That was cool. Met a couple of podcast fans, which was really nice.
Nice.
Hopefully, if you're listening, one of which chased me down in her services, which was quite a strange experience, but it was cool. I was like, what's this guy on? I think he's going to hit me. But no, he came over to say hello.
So what were you doing? What's the holiday look
pilot,
like?
But we'll not talk about that, I don't think. Seeing the helicopter, we'll not talk about that. But what was the holiday? Me, Emma, my partner, her family, they booked a place and we just tagged along because that's the kind of people we are.
What sort of place was it?
In what way? Where we stayed? We stayed in Berwick. Which is like
so is it in a house? An
Airbnb. We just stayed in like a nice, an Airbnb spot.
Yeah.
Sort of vibe. But it's all like, up there. It's just big beaches. It's just we just did beach walks, dude.
Nice.
Literally beach walk, cafe, beach walk, cafe, beach walk, cafe.
Oh, it sounds wholesome.
Bollocks when I got home.
Really?
Oh, mate, I was ready to come home.
Yeah.
I don't walk that much all the time. I lost weight, been there, which is crazy. Came back, I was like, whoa, my boy's looking shredded. But nah, they're older as well, man. Emma's parents are older. Like, they're up, 60s and 70s and they just walk.
Yeah.
You think you're like the young guy and you're like, oh yeah, all good, we'll just walk there. And I had to be like, can we go back soon? Because I am knackered. And it was cold. It was cold up there as well.
What do you think when you're in your 60s or 70s? Will you be a walker?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'll be a walker.
So. Just walk. Just
Botanical
constantly.
gardens, walking.
Just walking. And there's something about just walking on the beach, which is quite nice, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's something about water. I wouldn't necessarily...
Hate it.
Well, me too, to be honest.
No,
being brutally honest.
It was a leak.
Of course, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can't really swim as well, but yeah.
We've both had bad experiences with water anyway, haven't we?
Well, so you wet yourself, didn't you, earlier?
I wet myself earlier, So
you can't deny it because it looks like even more incriminating. He didn't wet himself.
It's I don't know, man, about water, but just walking on beach is nice. It's kind of cool.
Swimming?
Nah, I didn't go in. Should have gone in, but it's a bit brown.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not like, oh, that looks nice. You're more like,
what part of the
bad.
ocean is it?
North Sea.
North Sea, which is between...
Taking a guess, Denmark would be to the right.
Oh. It's
Atlantic.
not where I thought Northumberland is at all.
So Northumberland
I'm looking on a map.
Danny Hart country, Redcar.
Okay.
So above Newcastle.
Do you know, I don't know why.
It's
I
nice,
thought
dude.
you were like in North Wales, but that was a different holiday.
Yeah, I have been to North Wales before, yeah.
Didn't you go on one recently?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I have that many holidays, mate. I'm just constantly on holiday.
Oh, okay, I found it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a board. It literally is on the borders.
Yes. Yeah,
Went
to Scotland. Went to Scotland for the day.
North Sea.
Yeah, I went to Scotland for a bit. That's went over something called Unity Bridge, which is a suspension bridge. Quite cool.
Nice.
Beautiful place. Yeah, it's nice, dude. It's nice. I just needed a break, mate. Needed a break. I was ready. Ready for a holiday. I mean, it wasn't all holiday. I still had bits of work stuff to do, and I'm not good at just switching off. Do you know what I mean? It's not really in my wheelhouse of skills. I can't just not do stuff. There's always something. But it was nice just to get away and just have time to chill and read a book and walk 30,000 steps a day till my calves were killing. But it's nice to. I've been doing that. What else have I been doing? I'm trying to think what else I've been doing. I've been saving old people, actually. I've saved a couple of old people while I've been.
Have you?
Yeah, 2.
In Northumberland?
No, home.
Local old people.
Local saving. So St. David, actually, I was driving to the gym. I'd say this is probably 3 weeks ago. And all of the cars on this really tight, horrible little country lane from my house were all kind of going really slow and going round this person on a bike. And I've got close to him and I'm like, his saddle's bent and this and that. And I pulled up at the side of him and wound the window down. I'm like, you okay? And his face was all bleeding. And yeah, he'd been hit by a truck. He'd actually been hit. He reckoned he'd been hit by like a wing mirror of a truck.
Oh,
hit him. Old bloke, dude. Probably in his 60s or something.
Oh, poor fella.
Hit. And anyway, and then everyone had just kept driving around him. So obviously, got his bike, put it in the back of the van, took him to the garden centre, cleaned him up. His wife then turned up. She was on an e-bike. She'd fucked it off, but she came back and then ended up driving him home. It was dead shook up, bless him. That was the first older person that I saved. The second older person that I saved recently, we went for a walk just with the dog close to the house. And there's like this little path and it drops off down to a river. And we always walk this way with the dog. And I just looked to the right and there was a bloke just like on the bank.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're all right? Just kind of thought, he's picking wild garlic or something. But no, he'd fallen down the bank. I shouldn't laugh. It was horrible, mate. Poor bugger.
Yeah.
And then, ended up spending some time with him on this bank and we managed to get him out.
He'd had a fall.
It
gets to a certain age and you start having a fall.
And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not, he didn't fall down the bank.
It was a reality check, dude. It was gnarly in a way.
He all good though?
Yeah, but he wouldn't accept that he wasn't. And that was what was getting a bit frustrating. I'm like, Nick, he was called Nick. We might have to call someone, mate, because I can't get you out of this bank. He was just a solid dude, right?
Loud and clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Nick.
They call him Big Nick.
Yeah, yeah.
Some do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Some do.
Yeah.
And anyway, he was falling down and his legs weren't working very good and his back had hurt. But he kept saying, I'll be okay. I'll get up. But he couldn't. And then it was a reality check, man. Anyway, we managed to get him out and get him onto the road to walk back to his car that he'd driven to go for a walk. And it's just so sad. It was lovely, but you could tell it was not embarrassing for him, probably a little bit, but also he wouldn't accept it.
Oh,
and that's
dude.
the thing. He kept going, so he was walking really slow because he'd hurt his back. And it was really funny, actually. We ended up having a good laugh about it, but he'd go, right, come on. And he'd start walking and then be like, and seize up again. But yeah, I've been saving old people, man. And
man, it's hard.
There's nothing like an old person to put things back into perspective sometimes, right?
It's hard being old, because you just used to be a confident young
yeah.
killer. You know, like
you can tell that's what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
The walk he'd done, dude, was so far.
Yeah.
When he said, "I'm like, where have you been?" It's I've been this place for my lunch, and I'm thinking, holy shit, that's a decent trek to say he's really doddery and
big hills.
Yeah,
he probably fell a lot of it then, to be fair.
Yeah, he might just, you know, when you kick a ball and you start falling.
Yeah, exactly. He probably fell a lot of it. He probably slid quite a bit.
Poor bloke.
Poor big Nick. We shouldn't laugh about it.
I want to hit your watching and listening though, dude. While we've got time,
Let's
I know
do it. Yeah,
we're getting tight on times.
We're getting tight on time, and my watching, I've basically got 2 watchings, and I know that you've watched one of them. Adolescence. I think we're off. You what? Sorry.
Who hadn't seen it?
Yeah, exactly.
The most watched series on Netflix of all time.
But I thought we should talk. It'd be just it's just so good, and it would be a really good topic. But maybe we talk about it next episode. Yeah. So maybe I'll move on to my next one.
Teaser. We might have someone from Adolescence come on the podcast soon to actually talk about it.
Incredible. All right, let's wait to talk about it until then.
We might.
Fingers crossed. So the next one was Anora. Have you heard of that?
Anora? No, I've never heard of Anora.
Name we have. They're film buffs. So it was Oscar winning, maybe BAFTA winning, maybe Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know, but it I'd heard you have to rent it, so I rented it.
Okay, you sell it to me. Come on, give it to me.
It's about a girl who works in a strip club. Basically, it's just cool because it's like, you always have.
She's called Nora.
She's called Anora.
All right, not Anora.
Or she calls herself Annie, but she's actually got her actual name is Anora.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all kind of part of it. She basically she's works in she's a stripper, and the dream thing happens, and the son of a Russian billionaire comes in. She can speak Russian, and they end up like kind of hitting it off, I guess. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just so it's like one of those scenarios that you hypothesize about. Okay. You know,
yeah,
like what it would be
what
like
if?
to
like a millionaire,
it's
like
a what
the
if,
lottery thing. What if I won the lottery?
And it's just the reality of this what if, and it's, I don't know, it's just done really well. It has moments that are funny. It has it's just a really
old
good film. No, 24, I think. 24.
Oh, is it? Yes, it's quite a new film.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard of it.
But it's well worth watching, and it just makes you think, like, because I think so often, well, I certainly do. I don't know if it's telling that I do, but I sort of do a lot of like, imagine if I had $1 million in the bank, or if I had this, or if I had that, and it's fun to see it because she basically goes from being a stripper with not much money to being the wife of the heir to a Russian billionaire's throne.
Wow.
And it's like, her world is opened up. It's private jets, it's parties in Vegas, it's this and that. It's just cool to see.
That's cool. Yeah. So 10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend, or?
I'd recommend it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
All right. I'll give it a shot. Then we'll talk about it on the next couple of episodes or something.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a watching or listening. Definitely got a good listening that's hooked me in. I'm going to go for it. I did send it to you.
Yep.
I can never say it though.
Yeah. I haven't listened to it yet. Yeah.
I'm going to try again. The Telepathy Tapes,
yeah,
which is a podcast series.
Okay.
And it's unbelievable.
Okay. What's it about?
It is about non-verbal autistic kids who have the ability to use telepathy, that's a better way of saying it, to read, to communicate. And dude, it's just fascinating. It's so interesting.
How do you mean to read?
So basically there's this, I guess, idea that these kids can link up with maybe a parent or a teacher. So let's say a lot of the examples they would use, these tests that we do, is the non-verbal autistic kid would be sat here, for example, in this chair where I am. There'd be a divider there. You'd pick up the Magic Mind bottles, read a word, and without me even seeing it, could spell out, they call it spelling, so they'd punch it into this sort of like iPad or something like that, what you're seeing.
I just want to be more open-minded, and I just can't.
Mate, it's fascinating.
It just
I know you're like, I want the science, I want this, but mate, it is
just
fascinating.
That sounds fun.
And they talk about this thing called the HUEL, which is really interesting as well. So a lot of non-verbal kids, autistic kids, communicate, but on this imaginary, whatever you call it, thing called the HUEL. But they exchange ideas and exchange this and exchange that, but they never actually meet each other. It's fascinating. It's so interesting. It's got me hook, line, and sinker. And I know what you're saying about. Obviously, I know that, but about the science and this.
No, I'm just boring, dude. I don't want to be a bore.
You can watch them do the test though, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So it's not just
proven.
Yeah, that you can watch these doctors and whatnot doing these tests with these kids, and it's so interesting, dude.
Yeah,
I find it so interesting that what if there is something else that we just don't understand?
Yeah,
I know it's fun. It's fun. It's woo woo. It's whatever. It's all, you know. Like, actually, it's a great example when we were just talking about Emma before, and she rang. You know, and I think that's an example they use quite a lot. We've all got those examples in our life where you think, "Oh, I've not heard from that person for a bit," and then your phone rings, and you can't really, like, what is that? You can't really make you can't really make sense of it. It's all these sort of things.
I'm so boring. I'm just like, it's probability.
Did you ever watch The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah.
It's about that as well.
Yeah,
a lot of it's about that, which is like third eye.
But
vision.
What was the? That was a government.
They used it for the war, didn't they? And there was a person. I don't know if this was on the podcast, but there was a person who found a Russian submarine by using.
It was a comedy, wasn't it?
That was was. There were. I don't know. It was George Clooney, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I don't know what the premise of it from.
I know it was based off. I know it was based of an actual government thingy.
But. Yeah, but the government use it for stuff like that, and I think it was more. I got into it. Obviously, Rogan had a woman on. Can't remember her name, Di or something like that, and they used loads of examples in that about doing tests with these kids, and they could give them coordinates, and they can. Maybe that one wasn't actually about kids. That was about adults, that they could tell you exactly what it would look like in those coordinates and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm finding it all really interesting.
No, I think it is. I just hate. I know. You know, when I say it, I can't think my way around.
Yeah, I feel like you'd like this one.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like you'd like it.
Do you know what I do find really interesting that someone showed me was like this, like geo-guessing? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen those videos. Yeah, they're got me.
Unbelievable how good people are at them.
So someone, for example, would show you a photo of those beams.
Google Maps,
and then
Street
you'd be
View,
like, right, let me find it. Yeah, I've watched that guy.
And actually the accuracy to which they can narrow it down is so
fun.
Unreal.
It's fun.
Yeah.
The one I watched, I think he's called Geo Wizard.
That's it, yeah. That's
on YouTube.
That's all I've seen.
And
I've only seen
one
two videos, but it was like...
Yeah, I've only seen one, I think. One or two. And someone had taken a photo of a menu in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And he'd found out, like, okay, he's got the logo, and he'd like gone into it and traced it and figured out what the logo might look like, and then he's found it, and it found like the seat in a restaurant. There you were. It's interesting.
Bizarre, isn't it? That's a good watching and a good listening, actually. I can't remember the exact... Is it Geo Guess?
Yeah, something like that.
Geo Wizard, anyway. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, it's been lovely catching up. We've done it.
Yeah, we have done it, haven't we?
We've done it.
We've got a lot going on. We've got we've got new space. We've got some guests lined up. We've got a good episode coming out next week as well with our friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We've got a new space finally, and I'm hyped for it to get our first episode in the bank here.
We're back in the mix.
Hopefully, back in the mix a little bit. Yeah, it's been all over the place this year, haven't we?
Absolutely.
But it is what it is. This place will help.
Indeed it will.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. And
I'm trying to think of any other news, mate. I'd made some notes, but I deleted it in the post office yesterday. I guess you can get them back, but I was like, it's a sign. Just leave it.
I've got to the end of my notes.
Yeah, I'm just loving spring at the moment.
Oh, the best.
So good.
The best. I normally get back from Mexico and I'm just like, oh, what is this place?
I'm loving spring.
And then I've got back from Mexico now and I'm like...
Do you know what the history of April Fool's Day is?
No, please.
The history of April Fool's Day, apparently, according to me, is it was to take the piss out of, make fools of people who didn't think that that's when the calendar should start on April the 1st. Because it's new life, isn't it? It's kind of like you go back to whatever calendar it was. Mayan? I can't remember. 13-month one. Everything has the same amount of days, etc. But yeah, they think that April 1st should be the new year, start of new life, etc.
Oh, interesting. Well, actually, it does make sense, doesn't it? If spring is,
And there you go. On that bombshell, little April Fool's Day fact at the end, even though it's not April Fool's Day.
Or is it? April Fool's?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. We appreciate you. Sorry for the lack of communication over the last few weeks, but we're back. We're here. And back doing what we do, I guess, aren't we, for a bit?
That's right. Thanks for listening. Peace and love.
Like and subscribe. Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better than normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah.
Click on the video on Olly's face.
That's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.